set. Currently in their groups, Hitsuyan is 6-6 and Shadyforce is 2-6. All right, so opening up, we've got Thieves Town with a 5-6 crystal. We've got Green Pendant in Ice Palace, and we have a pendant in Turtle Rock.
Interesting start right away.
So Hitsuyan's got 20 rupees already. He's going to take the southern route. More than likely going to take those 20 rupees and do the archery game and turn it into a whole lot more. Shadyforce is going for an immediate dive into Skullwoods.
I can't blame Shady. It's a pretty quick check if you know what you're doing.
And also with this drop he's going to in the back, there are 2 pots that have bombs under them. So this is the early bomb farm, possibly to check Hype Cave.
Yeah, that's a good one. Also, to answer a question in chat, how does inverted work? Basically, instead of the light world, you start in the dark world. And basically everything you know about Link to the Past, going back and forth between the dark world and light world, is actually inverted. So you start in the dark world. You need a Moon Pearl to actually do something in the light world, except for a few easy checks. And yeah, the mirror brings you from light world to dark world and not from dark world to light world. Those are the main mechanics of inverted. There are a few other changes, but we'll get there when we actually see them.
And Hitsuyan has his digging game item, but unfortunately it's just a single rupee. I think he got more value from everything else. And there's a hammer over in Skullwoods.
Nice, easy hammer. Or an early hammer, I should say, not an easy hammer. That's definitely going to help in this seed.
Hey, compared to a hammer on blind, I'd call that easy.
Yeah, definitely.
One other change for inverted is this shop here. In order to make it easier on the logic, there is a blue potion in this shop.
That was actually something I didn't know. Yeah, that's cool.
And Hitsuyan bought some bombs, so we're going to see that Hype Cave check.
Starting with Quake. All right, that might be necessary. Oh, look at it! All right.
Hype out of hype.
Moon Pearl and the Silver Gauntlet. Wow. That's like 2/3 of your light world access right there.
And that Quake could be important for Meyer.
Or maybe Turtle Rock, if Turtle Rock has progression.
There are a few ways into Turtle Rock and Inverted. We'll go over those more once those become viable.
Yeah, that's true. There are several ways to enter Turtle Rock because of Inverted, and you might not even need a medallion to enter. I forgot about that. But once again, we'll explain when we actually... If we actually get to see Turtle Rock, we can explain it there. It might be better with visuals.
Now, Shadyforce was showing off one of the pull locations. However, since he hasn't killed anything, it gave him nothing. Now, notice both our runners have been skirting around Thieves Town right now. Even though all but the hammer chests are open to them, you can't actually kill blind without a weapon. And We're kind of lacking in that department right now.
Well, Hammer Chest is open for Shady.
Right, Shady does have that hammer. Okay. Hitsuyan has not been back to Skull Woods yet. Meanwhile, Shadyforce with full Light World access, he's going to go ahead and check the dam. He's going to get a lot of his Light World checks in already.
Nothing special so far in Turtle Rock. I mean Thieves Town. Excuse me.
Hey, I know we have Turtle Rock on the brain. That's a little bit farther down the line.
We're not yet there. Either way, Hitsuyan takes an intentional death to get out of Thieves Town and not save and quit so he can continue in the Village of Outcasts.
Yeah, he realizes he doesn't have a weapon out of those first four, so he's not going to bank on the fact there's one later.
But it seems like Hitsuyan is going to make the Skullwoods play. Probably picking up that hammer as well.
The question at that point is, will he take that hammer back to Thieves Town, or will he go through some Light World exploration? He's right at Kakariko. And Mini Moldorm Cave only paying out with a shield.
Shady is actually visible now with that shield, so that might make it easier.
Hey, sometimes having full visibility on the shadow makes a lot of your bomb jumps easier. Shady's got to be careful not to take another hit from these crabs. They still do 1 heart of damage on Blue Mail. They hurt a little bit.
And meanwhile, Hitsuyan taking another intentional death and actually, I think, goes into Kakariko now. Goes to the Light World and do a check on the full Kakariko. Which I can't blame. I can't blame him. I mean, Kakariko has a lot of items.
Yeah, 2 houses, 10 items. Now, a question on what sprite Shadyforce is using. It's called Invisible Link. So all you see is the shadow, and if he has a shield, which he does right now, you get to see the shield. And I believe the bunny sprite on it is still invisible.
But if it's invisible, how will we know it's the bunny sprite?
It's an invisible bunny. Hitsuyan over in the Kakariko well getting the flute. And even though it's inverted, you have to activate the flute in the light world. But the flute can only be used in the dark world. And it has the same flute spots as the dark world version of the light world flute spots.
Yeah, for what we have seen so far, the same counts for the warps to the light world. Where usually would be the warps to the dark world from the light world in regular mode, now in inverted will be the dark world to the light world warps on the same places. And Hitsuyan picking up the cane, the red cane, so that's good.
Yeah, with that, they need that for Mire and for Turtle Rock. Even though you can access Turtle Rock from a lot of different spots, you still need that cane to hit the bridge. We saw Tower of Hera as our other 5/6 crystal, and I believe it was Eastern Palace as a pendant.
I missed the check. It was too quick for me. I was paying attention to Shady's screen. So I think you're right.
And Hitsuyan getting more rupees over in Kakariko. All right, so got both runners up here in the Lost Woods area. We got shadyforce going to get his heart piece over here at the mushroom spot. Where is Hitsuyan headed, though?
That might be a possible lumberjack check, and then over to the Lost Woods. Seems like lumberjack only has couch money, so not really interesting.
Yeah, with Light World access already and just a big 20 over on the lumberjack ledge, I doubt we see an Aga Tower play today.
Yeah, I think Aga is already pretty much dead at this point, especially since I found early hammer.
So one thing we might have forgotten to touch on is this is hard difficulty. So what that means is there are only 14 possible hearts that they can get. We have a reduced heart piece count and a reduced heart container count. As well as your maximum shield is fire shield and your maximum sword is tempered sword. Now, there are still 3 shields in the item pool. There are still 4 swords in the item pool. But the last one will just turn into rupees. 20 rupees, I believe.
And his one, what you see doing, is also different because usually you would use the mirror to go up on that ledge, but because that doesn't work and inverted that way, they just made a nice stair. They made some stairs so you can enter it regardless. So that's one of the big changes in inverted.
Yeah, anywhere that required the mirror has had the land changed. Such as a ladder going up to the Bombos tablet or the ground being flattened out around Checkerboard Cave and the cave south of the Grove.
And also, what might be a good example is the floating island on Death Mountain. Usually, you need to go through Hookshot Cave in Dark World to get there, and then use the mirror to get to the floating island. But now they just, once again, they build a bridge in the Light World.
And then there is one other change with Death Mountain. The Death Mountain entrance cave has actually been swapped with Bumper Cave. So if you were to try to go up Death Mountain in the Light World, you would instead find yourself in Bumper Cave. And you actually go up into the Dark World. And you'll grab the old man in the Dark World, and you'll have to go through that teleporter to go to the Light World and drop him off in his cave.
Uncle has a shovel.
Was he trying to dig his way into the basement?
Well, he didn't go far.
And we've got our second medallion. There's Bombos. Though we are... we've got some decent progression, but where's our swords? As Hitsuyan's going down into the dungeons, we've got Shadyforce right on his heels.
Yeah, right now they both are making kind of the same play. I think it makes sense. There are a few items, especially in the all down in the basement. You have a couple of chests that are easy to get. Shady apparently not happy with Uncle having a shovel.
Now Hitsuyan has already found the spare key in the back and the map in the back, so we know that this last chest is also an item. And Hitsuyan's going to set up Death Warp for right after he grabs this chest. So that way he can go right back to the front. And there's the bomb for the Death Warp. And he did not check the Dark Cross chest, so he's going there now. And since we don't have a lamp, it's time to navigate a dark room. I think the real question right now is, what's that hammer made out of to let it glow in the dark?
Do I even want to know?
Is it even safe to hold?
I cannot answer that question. To answer a question in chat, I believe Bombos was at Cave 45. I could be wrong, though.
Now, we'll bring up another point of inverted real quick. Ice Palace, in order to make it more accessible, the front of the wall that encloses it is open. So if you have flippers, or if you fake flipper over there, you can swim. You can go into the front entrance of Ice Palace at any time. And while Shady Force has bombos, he could get through if he had a sword to use it.
Shady's hoping to find that sword in the closet of Sashla. Does find some interesting items though. Titan's definitely worth it. And I think Powder was there as well.
Powder was there, so that's access to Magic Bat. Titan's mitts actually usually does not open up a whole lot in inverted. There's only one location that is strictly Titan's mitts required, and that is King's Tomb. However, hook shot or boots or other items like that could be locked behind Titan's mitts. So we'll see how that progresses. Those mini Moldorms looked like they weren't agreeing with that red cane of Hitsuyan's. Now, hard mode also modifies the magic powder, where normally when you powder an anti-fairy, you get a fairy. Hard mode says, no, that's too easy. You only get a heart for that now.
It's not really a useful hint that Shady picked up there.
Yeah, it's only useful if he's already found 2 items and has not found cash.
Yeah, I think so far Shady picked up 1 item and it was actually cash.
In that case, all we can say is, thanks, game.
I have seen a couple of races now, and I'm seeing a noticeable trend in redundant hint tiles.
There are a few cases where it depends on routing, on whether or not they're redundant. But yeah, I've also seen a lot of cases where the item it's referring to is the item you have to even see the tile.
Yeah, exactly. That's something I see a lot.
Shady Force found some cash, all right. And we're going to see our first play in the Death Mountain. Now, those Titan's mitts do open up Light World Death Mountain. So we're going to see another huge chunk of items shortly. That's a good sequence break.
Oh. So we now know that the mirror is actually flipper locked.
Yep. And there's a blue boomerang over on the Zora ledge. Now, in hard mode, boomerangs do not stun enemies. So, item that doesn't see a whole lot of use sees even less use. And Zora with the life lesson. So the unfortunate thing about that mirror placement is, well, it's fortunate and unfortunate. Because now Hitsuyan can check Catfish after he walks all the way back out of Zora's domain.
Yeah, this kind of feels like a walk of shame. I mean, it actually isn't, but it sort of feels like that.
And shadyforce, he making his way out of the old man cave. This could be bad. So he's grabbed the old man. And if you save and quit or die and have to save and continue, since you've already grabbed the old man, you get sent back to where he is. So if you're lost and can't get out, you're going to be stuck for a little while.
But it seems like shadyforce found it.
I saw him pushing a Samaria block, and what I'm guessing happened is he pushed it through the doorway, but forgot to activate it and blow up the block to walk through.
Meyer is bombos.
Shadyforce has that. They still couldn't get in if they wanted to because they don't have a sword to use the medallion.
Well, also that, plus they don't have either boots or hookshot to get through the first room as well.
Fair point. Now, Hitsuyan did check Catfish, but only had the red boomerang, so he's got one boomerang, and you see there that no, it does not stun enemies. Right, so we only got 20 rupees on top of Spectacle Rock. And 20 rupees in Spectacle Rock.
Also, a very helpful hint. Cash is in Ganon's tower. I mean, what are the odds that Cash is actually in Ganon's tower?
Very likely. I'm not even going to sugarcoat that one. Oh, hey, look, another big 20.
Yeah, speaking of Cash, I'm digging it.
So that Bombos is probably takes a lot off of Hitsuyan's mind, because he knows he needs that, and he's already got the mirror to get through Turtle Rock. So yeah, he's starting to get set as soon as they find a sword.
Yes, and for people who might be wondering, why was Ganon's tower open? In inverted, Ganon's tower has been swapped with Aghanim's tower. So Aghanim's tower is in the Dark World, And Ganon's Tower is actually in the light world on Hyrule Castle. That's also one of the things in Inverted.
And Hitsuyan's going to make use of that mirror to mirror the Dark World, get his Smith, and turn him in. And Shadyforce got the Cane of Burna. However, in hard mode, it does not make you invincible.
Turning in the blacksmith was a good idea because Hitsuyan just got a hookshot out of that.
Yeah, that hook shot is required for Swamp Palace for one, but that's going to speed up overworld progression as well.
It's also kind of your entrance to Misery Mire, although according to the logic, they still miss the lamp. And hey, they're silvers.
Lamp could still be in the front of Misery Mire. However, they still don't have a sword to open the front door.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about that.
We swear this is not swordless. This is randomized swords. Alright, so since Hitsuyan has his hammer, has some armor and some health, it's time to take out Thieves Town. And Shadyforce up on the mountain saying it's time to take out Moldorm. Luckily, the big key was not in the basement because they still do not have a fire source.
You know what's even more interesting? They're both doing a 5-6 crystal.
I think now's a good time to point out, if you noticed, Link's house was in the Dark World, and its Light World location is the bomb shop. All right, so Shadyforce finding a hint that there's a piece of heart in Thieves Town. That's probably not going to be very useful. But Hitsuyan finding out we have a cape over in the west side of Swamp.
So, oh, yeah, go ahead.
It's possible that the cape is required by logic. Whether or not they actually go out of their way for it is another question entirely.
Yeah, I was about to say that cape is something they probably won't worry about until they found out there's something on Bumper Cave Ledge. But other than that, I think the cape is not necessary for anything at this point.
Hey, we got our first sword. Moldorm was holding our sword.
Isn't that nice of Moldorm to just give it to Shady?
Oh, he was knocking him around a little bit. Now, if there's nothing on Bumper Ledge, then that cape's not going to be much help. Using it outside of areas where the logic requires it, the cape will use twice as much magic because of hard mode. Now, if it's a location where logic requires either Cape or Cane, such as the Spike Room in Misery Mire or Spike Cave or Laser Bridge, locations like that, the Cape and the Cane will behave as normal. So Cane will grant invulnerability in those areas. Cape will use normal magic, will not use double magic. And Hitsuyan getting Blind down with the hammer. Let's see what Blind has. The Mushroom.
A mushroom.
And we have a Fire Rod in Paradox Cave.
Oh wow, it seems like we're getting the progression now.
Now, shadyforce has the powder. Hitsuyan does not. But since he has the cane and the mushroom, he can actually fake powder to check the magic bat. And we have an ice rod and a bottle over on shadyforce's side.
Yeah, so basically both rods were in Paradox Cave.
Now, Turtle Rock is a pendant, so that ice rod may not be necessary. In fact, as long as we don't have any key on torch situations in Desert Palace or Ganon's Tower, the pedestal's already dead.
I don't know if that is... I believe book can be on pedestal, right?
But book could only lead to the boots.
But yeah, okay, fair point.
It's still a bit early. We could still end up with that, but just to bring it up before someone else does. Oh wait, book does lead to desert. We do have to have the book because of inverted.
Yeah,
book is
exactly.
literally our only means in, so never mind.
Yeah,
we have two possibilities.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking about. Because of desert in inverted, that's something we might need to explain. In inverted, desert is only accessible through the book because the mirror works the other way around, basically. So you cannot go to Misery, to the swamp area Misery, and then mirror to desert. That it doesn't work that way.
Now, I do find this kind of funny that Hitsuyan is over in Death Mountain now. Hitsuyan does not have the Titan's Mitts, but he does have the hook shot. So he's having to access this slightly differently than Shadyforce did. Now, since we have bottles, hard mode does cause a difference in how potions work. Potions that restore health only restore 7 hearts. Potions that restore magic only restore 50% of the magic bar instead of the full amounts. Unless you're in a room where you have to have cape or cane by logic. Hitsuyan gets his information that Bombos is one medallion for all, but once again, they still need a sword. Now, with the mirror, Hitsuyan can go directly to Laser Bridge because he can, in the light world, he can jump down to those entrances, use the mirror, and be at those locations. And even though Turtle Rock is a pendant, Laser Bridge is still 4 chests right there.
Yeah, Laser Bridge is actually something that is attractive to go for. Just because it's an easy access. And we might see it like in a second or two. Oh well, there's Lamp.
Yeah, shadyforce was not able to check this because he did not have the hook shot. Now, I believe Hitsuyan is pretty good with his dark rooms, so Lamp is likely more of a convenience, since he does have a fire source with that fire rod. But convenience is still a little bit more speed, so that's a little bit of an advantage he might have.
Now I do wonder, shadyforce is going to Scodes now, probably finish it as well. But since Shady picked up both 5-6 crystals, is it possible they're going for a Pyramid Fairy check?
That may be a bit down the line, and because of the flute, they can just flute to 4, take the warp just south of the house, and take it straight to the front door of the pyramid.
Nice bomb jump there from Hitsuyan.
Very nice. Now, even though Hitsuyan is 1 crystal behind right now, both of our runners have very different loadouts. So we might see a little bit of retracing over the course of this race, but I could see the routes being completely different all the way up to Ganon's Tower.
And to answer once again a question in chat, I believe you can because you can buy the bomb in the light world, and I believe you can use the warp south, like 1 square south of that, to go to the dark world, right? No, wait.
That's no, they do need the mirror to turn into the bomb.
You're right. Yeah, right. I still get mixed up sometimes. Also, look at Hitsuyan. Hitsuyan going into Turtle Rock here.
But yeah, the big bomb, you cannot save and quit with that. So yeah, there you have to have the mirror to turn that in. So
And
question is,
then
when is shadyforce going to find it?
yeah, meanwhile, we did not really mention it, but it was a very clean mob fight from Shady.
Fighter Sword Moth can improve its own difficulties, but not to shadyforce. Now, for those of you not familiar with either inverted or entrance randomizer, take a look at this door Hitsuyan's going through. When going upstairs, keys are a little bit wonky in Turtle Rock. Never see the big keys, so Hitsuyan. All right, I'm kind of curious. Oh, he's going to go backwards through, so he's going to take his key there, kill this Pokey, and he's going to go through the front without actually opening the front of Turtle Rock. Meanwhile, shadyforce has the medallion for Misery Mire, and this is his first trip into the Mire area. So I imagine he can't full clear it because he doesn't have the hook shot.
Yeah, no hook shot or boots. Can't get him past the first room yet.
And that just, further shows the difference in these two runners' inventories. Just hookshot and mirror versus Titan's mitts.
Hookshot was actually on the blacksmith, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was on blacksmith. Oh, Hitsuyan! Oh, that's a little painful.
Well, since he grabbed the heart, he can do this quick fall, but wasn't quick enough. He's going to have to go through the whole loop again. And remember, by logic, that hook shot is locked behind the flippers because we found the mirror in the waterfall cave.
So where are flippers?
Actually, wait. That hook shot is not locked behind the flippers because Shady has the Titan's mitts. So Shady can get the blacksmith anyways.
But still, the mirror is still a sequence break, though.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out my Turtle Rock logic here. How many keys were in the front?
I honestly have no idea. I think it were just 2, but I'm not entirely sure. Well, actually, yeah, it were 2.
All right, so that means this Turtle Rock is in logic for Hitsuyan because he could have went through the front door. I'm surprised that he skipped the that center chest, though. It could very well have an item. Now Shady's getting his back of escape check. I believe there's nothing there, though.
No, it's just some rupees and I believe a heart piece. And Shady's now gonna find his key in the sanctuary.
I couldn't give him that away a couple of moments ago.
Yeah, Shady not happy with that key there. I can imagine. So, Laser Bridge, what do you have for us today?
Looks like Hitsuyan's going to take the safety door first.
Yeah, good decision.
And we have Ether over on the desert ledge. Unfortunately, not required this seed. We have 2 keys on Laser Bridge.
I think this might mean that the middle chest Hitsuyan skipped actually might have something. And I believe it could still be the compass, but I don't know.
It looks like Hitsuyan's having problems with these laser skips. As I said earlier, though, Magic Cape and Blue Cane work as if it was normal mode on the Laser Bridge because they are required by the logic. So he could use that Blue Cane to be invulnerable on Laser Bridge. But that's a fact that doesn't come up very often.
In what we saw, Shady check checkerboard cave, and it was just 5 rupees. And now seems like Shady's making the pod play.
They're running out of options, and right now,
That's big.
When in doubt,
That's big.
It's Laser Bridge. So I was about to say, Shadyforce is opting to possibly double dip crystals instead of going independence, possibly going into pod looking for the bow. We just found the bow. That's not good for Shady. And because of 2 keys on Laser Bridge, that's a sequence broken bow.
Yeah, because you actually need the mirror to get access to those 2 keys. And we all know the mirror was in the waterfall. So once again, where are the flippers?
You know, I'm getting the feeling that we might find them in pod because pod was not bow locked. Now, Hitsuyan can't take another hit.
clutched that out. Really good.
Now this was just for a pendant.
That's even worse. There's progression in a pendant turtle rock, and it's on Laser Bridge of all places.
We get some caches above the pose. A little bit of a swipe there because shadyforce it's already checked it. You don't have Titan's Bits, Hitsuyan. You can't do that. You can't go that way.
Shady opting to do the potion glitch to get through here. That was pretty well done. I still need to learn how that works.
So what you do is you open up that wall, then you go back into the hallway, and as you're going through it, pop a potion, and you have to hug the top wall and not go down. And you also can't go past the door, or else it will lock the screen in place. And there's the powder and the Titan's Mitts for Hitsuyan. So the hook shot's now in logic for Hitsuyan. However, the bow is still out of logic because the mirror is hard required for Laser Bridge right now. Now you've been asking, where are those flippers? Those flippers, we do have to have them at some point for this seed because Swamp Palace is a crystal. You cannot get around flippers for that.
You can fake flipper all you want, but that does not work in Swamp.
Also, you're asking where the flippers are. I'm wondering where this book is for Desert. That was random.
That was weird.
All right. So, on that Mimic Room, you may have noticed that Hitsuyan used wooden arrows instead of the silver arrows. In hard mode, silver arrows only work on Ganon. You can only switch to silvers on Ganon. So, those of you that complain about the lag of silver arrows, don't worry. You don't have to deal with it until Ganon.
Yeah, that definitely means we won't get to see the cheesy kill on Vitrius.
Oh, that reminds me. Myers completable in logic now.
It totally is. And Shadyforce actually sequence breaking as well now.
Hey, you can see Link now. Alright, so Shady's about to get that mirror. So Hitsuyan has an item advantage with that hook shot and that bow, but they're about even in crystal count. So depending on how Shadyforce routes, he might not fall too far behind, even though Hitsuyan has that item advantage. And now that Shady has that mirror, here comes the big bomb play.
No. I was expecting it too, to be honest. I was expecting it too, but yeah.
Shovel first. So, with how Hitsuyan's routing been playing, I wouldn't be surprised to see Eastern Palace play right after this. And that was a nice hammer kill. Hammer does not have a lot of range.
I do wonder what's at the Pyramid Ferry right now, though. I mean, we know, according to the logic, it can be flippers. But what can it be?
Well, there's our pyramid check. There's nothing on the pyramid itself.
It's Master Sword. It's not specifically what you want to find, but it's definitely something you need later on. But I think out of all the progression items you could have found, the Master Sword is not what you're looking for. It's progression, definitely. But it doesn't open a whole lot.
depending on where the other two swords are, like it could not be required to get that one.
That also. And now Shadyforce is going to pick up the red boomerang from Catfish.
I'm questioning whether or not he's even going to pick it up. Yeah, the only thing that Master Sword opens up right now is the tablets that we don't have a book for.
Yes, as of now, it just opens nothing.
Trying to figure out what Shady's going for right now. This might be the Turtle Rock play.
Yeah, I can only imagine so.
So, in terms of overworld, we've still got the mushroom to turn in, the magic bat to check. There's also still the purple chest. I don't believe they've done purple chest yet.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't. Hitsuyan making quick work of that, of Matula. Getting 4th crystal right there. And Shadyforce actually is about to pick up the bow.
Unfortunately, the bow was in the last chest. And since Hitsuyan did not go into Eastern, I expect now that tells me he's focusing just on crystals. So the next play is probably going to be Misery Mire, since he can full clear that. And Shady looks to be having a lot better luck with those laser skips. So there's something else that bow could actually lead our runners away from the flippers, because flippers could possibly be in the front of Eastern Palace.
Oh, Shady didn't notice that they didn't pick up the big key yet.
Yeah, it's the one danger of entering from Laser Bridge. If it doesn't have the big key, you're going to have to go to a different entrance. Or you could reverse backwards through the dungeon. It's quicker going through backwards than forwards. And here you see Hitsuyan demonstrating that there's the boots.
It's boots.
So you saw the blue cane worked in there. Let's address those boots real quick. That's 2 more locations that they haven't seen. That is the Bonk Rocks over by Sanctuary, and that is King's Tomb.
So basically, boots opens up 2 locations that potentially can have the flippers as well. Because I believe the boots are not out of logic.
You can't do that, Hitsuyan. It's an hour in and you still don't have the flippers.
I think Hitsuyan was... Oh, actually fake flippering. Nice.
That's a nice, quick little setup. And look where it takes him.
On his way to turn in the mushroom.
And we see from shadyforce that the compass was in that chest Hitsuyan left behind, so usually able to track items, and Hitsuyan found out, oh hey, there can't be anything there. So since Hitsuyan has all of his finances taken care of, it's potion time. And unfortunately, Shady taking a death over in Turtle Rock. Lumberjack Ledge was just a big 20, so Aga is not required in any way for this seed.
King's Tomb just has a piece of heart. Nothing interesting there.
Got one more boot location. Because the library also had, I believe it was a piece of heart.
And there are the flippers. Wow.
Oh, that's the logic all set back in place.
Does this mean we're a book away from Go mode?
That does mean we're a book from Go.
And the worst part is book can still be on pedestal. It's not likely, but it's possible.
And Shady's going through the front of Turtle Rock. He has his bow. Unfortunately, there was nothing else from Turtle Rock unless that pendant leads to something. And we know the only thing that the pendant can lead to is the book. And we won't have the book to check and see if the pedestal's the book. Whoop, we don't have to do purple chest.
Unless you really want that piece of heart.
They're on 10 heart blue mail. They're not going to get any more mails because of hard mode. So for Hitsuyan, there were, going by the crystals, there were two possible plays he could have made here. Right now he's taking the density play because because Swamp Palace has 6 items. The other play that is also made at this point is Meyer, even though it only has 2 items, there's not much difference from a full clear Meyer and a go mode Meyer, because that big key could be anywhere except for in the big key chest around Vitreous. And the odds are you're going to find the 2 items on the way anyway. So either you take the density and Swamp Palace of 6 items hoping for the book, or you do Meyer and hope to run into the book naturally.
Yeah, and I think in this case, density is the better play, at least in my opinion.
Looking at his sword situation, he's still on level 1 sword. So I can definitely see that. He would probably go through here looking for a sword anyways. Since Shady doesn't have the lamp, he's got to do a dark turtle room.
Shady still didn't find that lantern. I actually forgot where it was as well.
Fire Rod helps out.
Oh yeah, lamp was the first chest in hookshot cave. Right. That's true. And Shadyforce still has no hookshot. Because Shady never turned in the blacksmith.
He's got the mirror now. So it's a lot more convenient to do it. Alright, so with this Argus, he's got to be a little slick with this. With only the fighter sword, you cannot damage the puffballs with slashes. You have to do spins. And it takes 2 spins. However, if you let go of a spin as you grab a puff, you'll get those 2 spins in. So he's opting to do this instead of switching back and forth from hookshot to hammer. I think it actually does speed it up a little bit over being a menu boss. And then going to switch to the Fire Rod because 4 Fire Rod shots will kill this thing.
Getting a nice vanilla heart container there.
Is this even randomized?
I don't know.
Now, for those of you wondering why he didn't pull out the silvers, once again, since this is hard mode, the silvers can only be used on Ganon. So silver arrows are not an option until the Big Pig. And Sick Kid giving Shadyforce his 50 rupees. I believe Hitsuyan already made that check earlier.
Yeah, Hitsuyan did. Hitsuyan opting to not get the cape. I kind of understand that play, but it also takes a little bit of a risk. Because I don't think Hitsuyan has checked Bumper Cave Ledge yet. I think neither of our players did.
I thought we saw that check earlier. I could be wrong.
I'm not sure.
But we're getting a magic bat check from Shadyforce.
And apparently I was wrong about Hitsuyan having done Sick Kid. And yeah, the magic bat only has 1 arrow. Now Shady finally going to pick up his hook shot.
We got to save quit. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Hitsuyan make the Meyer play right about now. Now, notice Hitsuyan healed up there, but it costs 20 rupees. Normally, that NPC gives a little bit of a story, but because of inverted mode, we've taken that out, and he just takes your 20 rupees and heals you up. Now, we know from an earlier hint that the compass and the magic cape are on the left side of Swamp, which is why Hitsuyan just avoided it. So Hitsuyan's Vitreous fight might be a bit interesting. Fighter Sword Vitreous is not the most friendly of things to have to do.
Fighter Sword not, but Hitsuyan has arrows, has hammer as well. Could even use bombs. I mean, Hitsuyan has enough resources. And has blue potions as well. Oh, hey, a net.
And because of hard mode, that net cannot catch fairies, so we're not getting fairy revivals this seed. Now, in this kind of situation, probably my favorite way to take out Vitreous is chuck a bunch of bombs at him and then one or two arrows to finish off each eye. Shadyforce, since he has a Master Sword,
That's book. Well, Hitsuyan is not in go mode yet, though. Still needs that Master Sword.
Yeah, Hitsuyan is now in sword mode. As you saw from Shadyforce, using the blue cane in the Spike Room of Misery Mire to not take damage.
And to answer that question, Shady's second sword was at Pyramid Fairy.
So Shady's going to get that book, and that was the second item of the dungeon, I believe.
Yeah, because the first item was the net.
Yeah, so the question is, will Hitsuyan keep looking through Desert Palace when he gets there?
Yeah, worst part for Shady, Finding the book might actually lead Shady to Desert Palace. Still not finding the flippers and the boots.
And the 2 tablets. He'll have the 2
And
tablets
the tablets
available.
as well. Yeah.
And the ped.
Also that. So the book for Shadyforce is actually not that good of a find at this point.
Yeah, it's now a wild goose chase for him. Oh, that lightning bolt actually canceled out his arrow that was going to kill that eyeball. Ooh, and there's a death for Shadyforce. He's having to do this in the dark. And Hitsuyan noticed his arrow count. He's down to 8 arrows, which is exactly how many you need to kill Vitreous. So he's going to go to Hammer Strats to save those arrows. And we see the arrows coming out.
Nicely done.
I heard the buzzer there. He was just firing them. No need to keep track when you have exactly enough.
So I can only imagine Hitsuyan go straight to Desert now with the book. And hopefully find a sword there. And if not, I can only imagine Hitsuyan hopes for a sword in Ganon's Tower.
So, because of how inverted works, there's an interesting plan he could do for Ganon's Tower. And I'll go over that when we get there. But for now, we've got a desert play. Desert was not boots locked. Well, flippers were, so the boots were definitely required.
For all you know, the Bicky from Ganon's Tower can still be on the torch as well.
We got our first item from Desert, and this should be the big key. Looks like Shady was doing a minor bit of farming there. Hey, here's your Vitreous Tennis.
Well, it's only a map in the big chest, so the last item is on La Mola.
I just noticed Shadyforce's over in the side there, and he is not taking damage from that goo. And he got tagged.
Yeah, taking an unfortunate death.
Right. So Hitsuyan is about to enter into his Land Molus fight for his final crystal. I think at this point we should probably mention a little game that we like to play over here.
Yeah, we should. So basically in Ganon's Tower, there are 22 locations where the big key could be. And you can guess what location that will be.
And we will start that game up once Hitsuyan collects this last crystal. And you probably will not have a lot of time before we close that game, because Hitsuyan will beeline to Ganon's Tower. Wait, we haven't started it yet.
But then again, as long as we don't find a second sword, or a sword upgrade, it's still not go mode yet for Hitsuyan.
The number you're guessing is for the big key. Feel free to have your own
That's
guesses
true.
about where the sword is, though.
That's definitely true. So, for the big key, what are you guessing?
I say 3. Just so that way we have a search for something else.
I'm gonna say 9.
The Shadyforce checking his mushroom, not finding what he wants on there, though. I'm pretty sure Shadyforce would be able to clear Vitreous with the loadout he has, but the problem is that without the lamp, you're losing so much health in the dark rooms on the way. Oh, we're getting some potion refills, because Fighter Sword Ganon's Tower. How appealing does that sound?
I'd rather not.
So as we said before, Ganon's Tower and Aghadim's Tower have swapped places, and we're about to enter the tower. So that big key guessing game will end once Hitsuyan gets in. We got 2 small keys. Shadyforce checking the hint, saying that a heart container is in Swamp Palace. Doesn't mean a whole lot to him, though, because he still needs the flippers. And he doesn't know that he still needs the boots as well. Oh,
That was painful. Oh.
Missed it by a second. That door pretty much closed in his face.
That was rude.
Now, the normal strategy for this room is to use your Cane of Samaria. But there's no magic for that, so...
Bomb strats?
Bombs, anyone?
Oh, well... I mean, even to get those, like, I'm gonna give you bombs.
Three. 4 for Master
There's the Master Sword. So this means officially go mode.
Now, if he had found the big key early, one play they could have made is mirror to the front, go up the tower, check the 4 chests up the tower. And if you don't find one, because this is inverted, the hold again is right in front of the tower. And it'll spit you out right in front of the tower. So, if you didn't find the sword going up, you could just walk right back in. But luckily for Hitsuyan, he did not need to think about that play. And that was chest number 10. Still no big key.
I think it was actually 11
Or
already
11.
because, yeah.
Bob.
Bob as well, yeah. He took the heart piece from the... Oh, there it is. Number 12.
Over in the firebar room. And congratulations, Julian Berlin. You are our closest guest with number 11.
Shadyforce is attempting victories once again.
He has potions this time, so I imagine he'll get through it. And Hitsuyan's taking advantage of the refill room. I believe the only developer intended bonk in the game, or at least the only one that didn't have another way around. Shadyforce making his way, trying to dodge all the fireballs in the dark. And Hitsuyan's trying to make good use of those spikes there. Spikes do buttered sword damage, so if you can knock the enemies into them, free kill. So it looks like Hitsuyan's trying to conserve trying to conserve magic, not using the fire rod on these land mollusks. And wooden arrows are kind of a pain to hit. They're required for a vanilla NMG game. But by this point, you have hammer, you have a few better damage options. And Shady's down to 1 heart, having to use that other potion. He's got 1 eyeball left, but Vitreous is going to be aggressive with that lightning.
This is looking good for Shadyforce, though. Takes his revenge on Vitreous.
Vitreous once again learning that arrows aren't good for your eyes. So I think probably one of the big contributing factors to Hitsuyan just getting this big of a lead, the early sequence break into the waterfall cave to get that early mirror, and then getting the hook shot so much earlier than Shadyforce. And Shady also still does not have the boots, which are over in Spike Cave, which led to the flippers.
I think Shadyforce is going to get his lantern.
After he's through all the points where he would need the lamp.
Yeah, that's so very unfortunate. I wonder what play Shady's gonna make now. Is Shady gonna do the Spike Cave right now?
Hopefully. He's up here on the mountain.
Don't tell me Shady's gonna go back in Turtle Rock.
We are at the hour 43 mark. So to not be in go mode at this point, he's got to be wondering what did he miss, or where is, like, what out of the way location has what I need. Like, he might be gambling on Trinex right now.
Also, look at that nice... Look at that nice little gap there. Right in the castle.
Now, with this being a Master Sword fight, Hitsuyan will not be able to damage Ganon with a slash. It has to be a spin. And the first 2 phases are 12 spins each. Now, since Hitsuyan's got him over here in the corner, this is probably going to be a single cycle phase 2.
Yeah, that was amazing. Oh, barely didn't get enough hits in.
He probably missed it by 2 spins, which really 1 spin because of how he was wedged in that corner.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, and he even took the damage boost to try to ensure that he got that 1 cycle, and unfortunately it knocked him out just before he could land the last 2 hits.
Shady making quick work of that Trinex. Once again, not gonna find what he wants.
And there we can see Hitsuyan finally able to switch to the silvers. And getting the torch glitch too. Unfortunately, because of the knockback of a Master Sword spin, he was not able to get a hit on that cycle there. And ladies and gentlemen, we have Bacon.
Yeah, GG's to Hitsuyan for winning this match.
Finishing with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 46 minutes, and 14 seconds.
Yeah, by the looks of it, it seems that Shady just taking the forfeit, which I can completely understand.
Yeah, he's been looking for those flippers for his go mode, and yeah, it ended up kind of rough there. But we have Hitsuyan with us. GG's on the race.
Thanks, guys. GG's.
Yeah, GG's indeed. Just to ask, because in the beginning, there were a lot of quick items. You got like the silver mitts, the moon pearl was pretty early, the hammer as well. Like, how do you experience it? Like, how open was the seed for you in the beginning?
Yeah, if you get light world access, it's every time open and inverted. You have so many spots to check. And you feel every time behind in an inverted seed, I think. And the locations for the light world access was very easy to get. Yeah, that's what was pretty nice, I think. Sometimes you have to beat bosses with 3 hearts or something like that for the moon pearl.
You mentioned feeling behind, but if I'm not mistaken, isn't this your 6th inverted win in this tournament?
Maybe, yeah. No, I lost one versus Jam. I think it's the 5th win.
Well, still impressive to me, honestly. I mean, 5 out of 6 is not bad. I would take that.
Yeah, I believe this brings you up to 7 and 6 in your group. How do you feel about your chances at making it through to brackets?
I think I don't have a chance. Because Jem lost the game yesterday, I think, versus Maiken. Yeah, and he's very strong too, and I have a match versus Maiken left and versus Jem. So it would be very hard for me. I need some losers on Maiken's side.
Yeah, it seems like everyone that made it through the group stage, we have a very strong field. So your go mode ended up being the book. What was running through your head as you were looking for that?
I was thinking it's on pet again, like the last seed.
Oh, that would have been unfortunate. But yeah, what did you think when you found the book, knowing that you still were missing a sword actually, because you were still on fighter sword at that point?
Yeah, I was happy about the book, but yeah, I know in GT are a lot of items, so I know that there's a sword probably for me. Yeah, and it was my best Master Sword Gen I ever had. I am suck at Gen normally with Master Sword.
Yeah, all the hits needed plus the knockback. I'm pretty sure Master Sword has extra knockback than any of the other swords.
Yeah, but after I found the mirror and the hookshot, and knowing that the boots are in Spy Cave at 1 hour 20, that was... I feel very fine, because that are all spots you cannot check so fast.
No, actually, finding that mirror that you got in the waterfall, which was a sequence break, actually brought you a lot of good, because it eventually brought you a bow that was also out of sequence. And I think, especially looking at how Shady played, that definitely made the game for you. That actually decided to win.
Yeah, we were sitting here wondering where those flippers were for the longest time, because with those 2 keys on Laser Bridge, you logically had to have the mirror to get that bow.
With the mids you can get it all. The mids was in Sahashla's closet.
Yeah, but you had to have the mirror to get into Laser Bridge on Turtle Rock.
If you found the mids, you can get over there with bombers. The normal entrance. We had flute, mids, hammer, bombers, and found on right side fire rod.
Yeah, that's exactly for entrance in Turtle Rock, but eventually you would have got stuck because you didn't have enough keys to actually advance through Turtle Rock because of the 2 keys on Laser Bridge. And for that, you actually needed the mirror to get enough keys.
Oh, unless you skip the...
Unless you skip that one. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Logically required, but as we saw, who needs logic?
Yeah, getting out of logic, this game definitely helped.
Yeah, but with mids you can get the burner, can get boots, and then get the flippers for the mirror and have to come back. That was the normal logic, I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, either ways, yeah, GG's on your win.
Thank you guys for commentating and the other stuff.
Hey, and thank you two for putting on a good race. Sorry about shadyforce. You know, put on a good effort. Unfortunately, the boots in Spike Cave leading to those flippers ended up tripping them up just a bit too much.
Yeah, I definitely feel sorry for what you were going through, Shady, because it was rough. It was definitely rough.
So we should probably start wrapping up. You have any final thoughts on this seed, Hitsuyan?
No, not really. I'm hoping I win the next 2 games and it will be close at the end. And for the viewers. And thanks for watching.
Hey, maybe we'll end up seeing you in brackets or playoff race for the brackets.
I hope so.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. Either way, once again, GG's also to Shady for putting up a fight. And I think this is the moment to give a shout out to both runners, Shady and Hitsuyan, and also the tracker, which was Magic Jade 47. And I want to thank Dark Shadow for commentating with me today, because it was a pleasure. I had a blast.
Hey, thanks, Wired. It's been a blast commentating with you, and to all of you fans, thank you for coming by and supporting these runners. And if you want some more randomizer action, we have a race starting in 1 minute over on Speed Gaming 3, Aaron Doby versus Rywick, and that's going to be a Ganon inverted Uncle Assured Sword normal mode. And on this channel in an hour, we have Gland versus Fantalis in an all dungeons inverted randomized sword normal difficulty. So be sure to check those out if you want some more randomizer action. Until then, I've been Dark Shadows 59.
I've been White Wiki, and thanks for watching, everybody, and see you all later.
Good night.